252.
Hey, welcome to another episode of 252. Frank G here along with
Simply Angela,
Johnny Blaze,
Cool Water Kurt,
Ralphie D.
And today we're talking Voltron, Defender of the Universe, as voiced by Optimus Prime. Who wants to kick off the Voltron show?
Well, for me, I can say definitely there's only one Voltron, and that's Lion Voltron.
All right. For you, there's one Voltron.
for me as well.
I know we're jumping.
I like the second one.
Did you?
The vehicle. Yeah.
The vehicle?
You like the vehicle?
Not as much, but I liked it.
I know we called it car when we were growing up. We called it Car Voltron.
I know, because we didn't know.
We didn't know it was like, what's this Car Voltron crap?
Was there like 75 vehicles?
Yeah, I think that's why I liked it, because it took like 20 things to form Voltron.
I'm like, you got one guy who doesn't make it. It's a wrap.
We got 18 minutes to form this Voltron, where the Lion Voltron, it only took about
And all forms the head. Like, I would have to say Voltron had the best, form, feet, and legs.
Oh, yeah, because everyone like joined together
and torso.
to make the Voltron,
and
right?
all, yes, there you go.
I know.
And you know what I really did like about it? They had a strong female character.
That is true.
The princess. Now, remember, there actually was a guy who was in the
Big Lion.
In the Big Lion, yeah. And then they took him out, so the princess...
He died or something, right?
Did he die?
Did he get killed? I think he got killed, and then she took his ship, pretty much.
Nice.
I don't know. I have to rewatch the beginning of Voltron.
Was that Princess Allura?
Man dies in pink.
I
Woman
don't
takes over.
know. I just remember it. I loved it when I was a kid. I would not watch it today because 90% of the episodes follow the same exact formula. They would go out with no vehicles and fight using their skills.
Yes.
Then they would get beaten.
Yes.
Then they would get in the lions.
Correct.
One lion would be trapped or out of power, so they could not form Voltron. The road beasts would come down in those little coffins. Remember the coffin ships?
Yes. Yep.
And then they would finally form Voltron. They would lose again,
Yes.
and then they would form Blazing Sword. Excuse me, just get in your lines, form Voltron, form Blazing Sword.
No.
End of the show in
No.
5 minutes.
7 minute abs. No. You had to do it this way.
Yeah.
I feel like, one thing I want to say, like a little bit of the backstory, so similar to Robotech, it was another one of the Japanese imports. It was, they wanted to show programming for American children.
Yeah.
They want, I can't remember the name of the guy, but he was like, he wanted this
Ted
Koppler, thank you. He wanted to get this this series that they had in Japan and bring it. When he explained the series to the guy who was going to get it, he actually grabbed the wrong series because he said it was a lion in it, and I guess that's the only thing the guy can remember. There was a lion in it, so he went and got Beastly GoLion something, whatever the name was.
Oh. Okay.
But then when he brought it back, the dude was like, this is not the show that I wanted at all. But they had already did the work. They already did the voiceover work, and they did all the stuff, and they produced it. And they were like, what? They was like, it was good, but what is this? And it's like, this is what you asked for. This is the thing. The Lions. He was like, this is not what I wanted.
Beast King.
Beast King GoLion. Thank you.
Beast King. I'll tell you what, though, when they broke the formula, it was one of the season finales, or it was a cliffhanger. I don't remember what season it was because I was just watching it every day.
Mm-hmm.
But Voltron formed Blazing Sword, and he lost. And he went powered down, trapped on the moon. Voltron still formed into Voltron, laying there, and they were trapped inside with no power. And I never saw the next episode. I gasped. I said, he formed Blazing Sword. The show is over. No way, man.
Nice.
Finally made a row beast that could beat him.
Love it.
And you still don't know what happened.
Frank.
I still don't know what happened.
Now, you had the Lion Voltron, right?
I do too.
Yeah, I do. I have the cheaper one. It was because the other one had lead or something, and my parents were all up in arms about you can't buy that, so I had to get the cheaper one.
It's so funny because I felt like I had it was plastic and metal. I had Black Lion first. I had that one first.
Right.
And I slowly, over time, got the other lions. Because I remember there was this little, we used to call it the Hello Kitty store. It was this little shop.
Holland Dairy.
Yeah.
It was across the street. No,
Across
not,
the street from
no,
Holland
no,
Dairy?
not Holland Dairy, because this one was on East Tabor.
Oh, gotcha.
Across the street from A&W Root Beer and 7-Eleven.
Yeah.
It was right where the corner. It was right on the corner of, I guess, Lucky's was the grocery store in the back, and then there was that little strip mall thing.
Yeah.
There was like Supercuts was there or whatever, and right on the corner there was this little Hello Kitty store. It was actually a Sanyo thing, but I didn't know at that time that was to me it was just the Hello Kitty
I
store.
know. It's
And it was like all
Hello Kitty.
it was like all girl stuff. But they had one cabinet,
One cabinet section
in glass that had GoBots, Robotech, and
They probably had
Voltron. But they only they only had very limited. You got a couple of pieces here, and then you don't see nothing forever. And I remember right when the I was like, "It's Black Lion," and I couldn't believe it. And it was probably
And you got it?
it was probably like $10-15 or something like that. And
It's a king's ransom.
might as well have been $1 million to a kid in the '80s living in the hood.
Was he the
That's
chess
probably the
piece?
same one that I have
Yes.
because the Matchbox one I think only came in a box with all the pieces together, and if you bought them separately, I think it was Galoob or somebody that had
I
separate.
bought mine
yes.
separately, and I believe I stole.
I also had the
Green
coffin ships and all that stuff too.
Well,
Wow.
I had the complete Voltron set, and it was just disappointing because the Black Lion he was shaped more like a turtle because he had to accommodate
Yeah.
all the arms and the legs. He
Right,
was
that's right.
twice the
Right.
size, and he had like a turtle shell body
Yeah.
with the head sticking out, and I was a little bit disappointed.
Did they ever make Robeasts though? I don't remember ever seeing.
I had action figure Robeasts. They weren't full, so I had like the prince and all the individual people who went in the ships, and then also the bad guys
You're gonna
as
have to,
action figure size.
What was the Robies? You have to refresh my memory.
Those were the giant robot.
Oh, those were the bad guys.
Yeah,
Oh,
Yeah,
okay.
the bad guys that fall.
Oh, I never had. Oh, yeah.
I've never seen
I
one.
never had one. Yeah,
Yeah.
I only had the lion.
I didn't know they had.
Yeah, I
the
got all that
coffin
stuff when it
ships.
was cheap.
Yeah.
Remember
also,
KB's closeout aisle? Man, I bought all my Voltron stuff there.
I remember getting the characters too, but the characters
They
didn't
didn't
fit in the
fit,
lion.
right?
Yeah, because the lions were like yay big,
Okay,
and the
then
characters.
you had the other one because mine definitely fit inside. I think I got one has Boba Fett in it, one has a GI Joe in it, and the other three are still Voltron figures.
Yeah,
Holy mackerel!
yeah.
that's awesome.
Mine were metal, like it was the lion, and it was cool because we could fold them up. And I think my brother played with them, and the tails, if I can remember correctly.
Or plastic.
No, the tails were the
Oh, the
part that
connector.
would connect.
Yeah, that's right.
Like
That's
for the
right.
arms,
Yeah.
they would fold up, and then their tail would turn in and go into a Black Lion.
Yeah.
And I remember on one of them, like the green one, it was all loose as a damn goose.
Yeah.
So
So you had
when
to-
he was in, he had the dead on Voltron because he couldn't
Voltron is injured.
close him because he had the dead on.
That was battle damage.
And you're like, man, you can't
Battle
even
damage,
play.
He-Man and Skeletors.
Oh, I remember that. You hit it, and then the thing flips over, and then it's got a scar on his chest.
Now, if I can remember correctly, Voltron was another one of those where they tried to continue the series, but they either couldn't get to rights to the other one, or they tried to mix it in for for American, and it just didn't. So they had to come up with the.
They planned to do a 3-chunk thing, like they did with Robotech. This series, and this series combined into this other new series for America. But everybody complained about the car Voltron so much they decided to skip the third one and went back to make extra episodes of the Lion Force, which weren't part of GoLion. They were just animated for us.
Right.
Hey, America wins again.
Well, because and again, I think that they also tried to do this. They tried to do that what kind of hodgepodge it, and they couldn't come out. And then they tried to make a movie.
What?
I don't
They did a movie.
Yeah.
What was it? Fleet of Doom or something. They did a movie.
Damn,
Okay.
I never saw that.
Yeah,
That sounded right.
and I know. And then Voltron also tried. Subsequently, they tried a couple more times to make that comeback.
Mm-hmm.
And ultimately, what was it? 2016. Now on Netflix, which I did watch a couple with my boy. I watched a couple of episodes, and I actually liked it. It was.
And your son was probably like, What is this?
Actually, no, Justice. He actually
Power
he was
Rangers.
supposed to. He liked it.
What is this Power Rangers
he liked
knockoff?
it. Yeah, he liked it so much that he was supposed to wait for me. What happened was he was supposed to wait for me to catch up, and then I couldn't catch up because I'm like, all right, I'm gonna catch the cartoon when I can, and I think he already mashed like whatever 2 or 3 seasons. I think I'm still like season 1, a couple episodes in it.
I tell you, I remember when the Power Rangers came out. I was, too old to enjoy it.
Correct.
But at the same time, I was disgusted. My cousin was watching it. I said, "That's Voltron."
Yeah.
So I'm telling you, and it even followed the same formula I did earlier.
Yeah.
The martial arts,
Yeah.
then get in your animals, then one gets stuck or kidnapped, then they form Voltron, and it's the same formula.
One girl.
It was
5
very
dudes.
much the Japanese formula of the
And
time.
what
sure.
annoyed me is it was like, isn't it Saban's Power Rangers? Puts his name on the logo as if he came up with this out of his genius.
Yeah, reminds me.
Saban is a person. That's not a company.
I don't know.
It reminds me a
Yeah,
lot
I
of
think it is a
PMC.
Oh wow.
Yeah, I'm putting them on blast. PMC would do that. Remember we do all our old movies.
Oh yeah.
And
He put
PMC
Shiny
would,
Mac Productions.
yeah,
on
because he
everything.
would put it on a DVD, and then all of a sudden now it's a Shiny Mac production. And I was like, dude, you weren't even there when we put all these movies together. You just pressed it onto a DVD for us. Yeah, it's Shiny Mac now. Here, watch this.
How dare you? You're lucky we're not getting paid for this.
Yeah.
So let's see here. Black Lion forms the body and head.
Yeah.
Red Lion forms the right arm,
Green Line form arms.
left arm. Blue Lion, right leg. Yellow Lion, left
I
leg.
want to say the characters' names.
And Brown
Keith-
Lion, you know what he's forming.
Wow. You didn't go there.
Yeah, I did.
Was there? I'm not gonna ask.
Well, I loved when he formed Voltron, how the hands and feet would roar at the screen.
Oh, yeah.
And then he would just straighten up and his whole body would just electrify.
Yeah,
It was
that was
a
good
great
stuff.
show.
And when you go back to subsequently, when you're talking about the animation of Voltron, it was just Voltron. The animation
It was
just,
better than what we were getting with our
other things, and the
stuff.
colors would bring you in. I remember being like as a kid, I'm watching this stuff, and it would bring you in. And I was telling me and JB were talking before the show. I don't really remember very specific episodes of Voltron.
But it doesn't matter. 'cause
But
they're all the same. They're all the same.
that whole like the feeling of I remember watching and I remember like really enjoying the show. Again, I don't remember how many episodes it was, 2 or seasons, 2 or 3 seasons, but I do remember watching all of it. And when Car Voltron came, and I was like, I remember being upset about that one.
Oh, yeah.
One thing that they
I was
did,
more upset when they did season 3 Transformers and everybody was dead and replaced with all those.
Yeah.
Yes.
Well,
Oh,
yeah.
still mad about that.
Still
Frank.
mad.
They
Still
died
mad.
in the movie. I mean,
Well, yeah.
I
Megatron
know.
showed up and
I was so
Decepticons
excited.
just murdered
I
all
was so excited to see it, and everybody's just getting
Murdered left and right.
and I'm like, I'm paying for this. What?
one of the Autobots was like clinging to his leg
Yeah.
and begging for his life, and Megatron just blasts him right between the eyes.
Yeah, it's cool.
And I was like, whoa, this isn't the Transformers I remember.
Yeah, and then remember when Starscream was getting coronated to be the new leader?
Oh, yeah.
That was
Decepticons,
classic. They kept
and
blowing the horns.
Galvatron came in,
Yeah.
and they were like, Megatron, is that you? He said, think again, turned into Galvatron, and killed him.
Killed him.
Yeah.
I was like, what are we watching?
Yeah, they definitely upped the stakes with the film.
Totally.
All of that
For
was
our
just
11-year-old selves.
to sell the new line of toys
I know,
that they
they
had. We got
murdered
all
everybody
these
we
new
loved.
space
Yeah,
toys.
and it totally backfired because they pissed us off so much we didn't buy the toys.
Yeah.
Screw Hot Rod. I'm not buying him.
Hell, why do I want Hot Rod?
Rodimus Prime.
Rodimus Prime.
That was terrible.
Dumb name.
Yeah, same guy. Hot
And it
Rod.
was Judd Nelson. He should have turned into Bender from The Breakfast Club. That would have been cool.
No, Dad. What about you?
No, Dad, what about... Look at this right here. It looks like a cigar burn, doesn't it?
That's what you get in my house when you spill paint in the garage. It's like, damn, paint.
Smoke up, Johnny.
Oh boy, this This is how we get thrilled, I tell you. Right. One thing that I really did that was different, what, these Japanese shows were the motion lines that they would have when someone was running or something was exploding, whatever. I don't remember us having those in like the G.I. Joe.
No, I was saying that before.
You
That's
know,
Made it more dynamic.
watch G.I. Joe today.
Yeah.
Watch He-Man and the other big ones that were out, and Super Friends, and then look at the Japanese animation.
I know.
They weren't even
Years.
playing the same sport, let alone in the same ballpark.
Yeah, absolutely.
That's true. And Transformers and G.I. Joe were done by Marvel Studios, who were actually doing a good job compared to Hanna-Barbera.
Right.
and stuff
Yeah.
like that.
Agreed. But they were just on that next level.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, Akira, I mean, every cell hand painted. I mean, how crazy is that? Oh, man. Well, I don't know. This walk down memory lane was really good. I think I want to go watch some old Voltron episodes. Oh, matter of fact, I'm going to go to my car and form my blazing sword.
Wow.
a terrible
Hey,
show.
there's
Yeah.
5 of us. We could do Voltron live action. Anybody got the suits?
I'll form the head.
I'll be the lame arm.
Got the dead arm. I can't form blazing sword.
I'll be the lion that gets trapped, or the one that gets kidnapped.
Right.
So you can't form
Was that guy's
Voltron.
name? Was that Hunk? He was in the
That's-
Oh,
yellow.
Hunk.
Hunk?
Yeah,
Hunk.
he was the dumb one.
That was,
Yeah.
he
There was
was
the,
in
the little kid.
No,
Yeah.
you can't be the
the
dumb.
Pidge.
little Page.
I can pull it
Pidge.
off.
Okay.
Pidge.
Yeah.
Pidge, yeah, that was the little one, right? The
Right.
kid.
And then Keith was another guy, right?
Shit.
Yeah. Yeah, they always had a Keith, didn't they?
Yeah.
Yeah.
All these shows, the Japanese people about the Americans were Keith.
Everybody name is Keith Smith. Yeah.
No, actually, that was done by the translators. So I guess somebody in whoever's office thought that would be a good idea.
It's like, yeah.
Yeah.
Maybe that is his name.
Yeah, there you go. Some dude named Keith was like, I know what to call him.
It's kind of like how Tony Danza, everything he's in, his name is Tony.
So I don't
I just
forget.
saw there was something he was in not too long ago where he wasn't Tony, and I was like, this can't be good.
Is he missing his lines?
Oh, I think it was a new show he was on with that one kid, the singing guy. What's his name? Oh man, some singing guy. It was on maybe it was a Netflix show or something like that. John Gorman.
Goodman?
I got nothing.
I don't know.
Yeah. Lost.
Oh well.
Yeah.
But Tony Danza was on it. It was short lived. It got canceled, just like this year or something like that.
Oh.
And
Because his name wasn't Tony.
Tony.
Yeah,
But it probably.
he'll never make that mistake again.
Right. All Tony from here out, all right?
So
I tried the thing, it didn't work.
if we actually wanted to see the old Voltron, is that on like? I know it's not on Netflix, but like,
It was on Netflix. It's not there anymore.
Hulu?
yeah, Hulu. Well, probably Hulu. You can get it.
I go for Hulu.
Yeah, I want it. I'm going to Hulu.
Yeah, because Netflix.
I have them all as DVDs.
I just
along
wanna
with
see
Full
this-
You still have
Oh,
DVDs?
nice.
Yeah, about 5,000 of them.
I just want to see the second half of that cliffhanger.
Yeah. You should.
Frank, can you find the second half of the cliffhanger?
Don't spoil it for me.
Don't spoil it.
Yeah,
I
yeah.
want-
All of Voltron is definitely on my server, so it's I gotta go see what happened there and check it out and let you know. I'll send you the episode. Here's part 2. Watch this.
Yeah, and then let me know because I'm kind of curious.
You need to
now.
watch part 1 first. I got to see the build up to it.
Yeah, definitely have to see that.
It was definitely a shocking moment.
Yeah.
After watching a bazillion Voltron episodes that were all exactly the same,
Yeah.
to see him lose like that, I was like, whoa!
They're not all
Yeah, they did
exactly the
that.
same. They did enough of a change to keep us glued to that set.
True.
Now, does anybody remember what time was Voltron a morning cartoon or was it an after school cartoon?
I saw Voltron at 2:30 on channel 31.
Yeah.
It was right after Robotech. Actually,
Yes.
2 o'clock was
Oh,
Robotech. 2:30 was Voltron.
I had to
Yes.
walk home further than you guys, so
Yeah,
I must have
yeah.
caught in the mornings because Thundercats was on the
Yeah,
afternoon.
it was.
Right, because I were actually more remember like Robotech being played in the morning because I
Saturday.
definitely remember when I was in the 5th grade missing a lot of school, like, because I had to watch to the
Oh,
end.
that was second in the
That
morning.
was slightly later, yeah. 'Cause,
Yeah.
it was
Yeah, 'cause I
85 was when they ran on 31.
Exactly. 'Cause
Yeah.
I remember running to school because I was going to be late. I already knew it. I'm going to be
Gotta
late.
get my robo fix.
I got to watch all
You know what? I think they even for a while did it a couple times a day because Transformers, they did that too. It used to be on after school, and then all of a sudden the next year I had to get up early to watch G.I. Joe and Transformers
Yeah.
before school. It's like, why I gotta get up at 6
I
o'clock
do remember,
now? It's
yeah.
crazy.
'Cause I know this is crazy because I do remember like kids talking about it while we were like on recess, and I was like, "Wait, you guys already saw it? Like, what channel are you
No,
watching that you can see GI Joe before me?"
I had a friend named Russell, and he taped every episode of Robotech. I never watched it live on TV, not once.
Oh, you watched it all?
I watched the videotapes.
Videotape. Nice. Do you remember Sundays?
I do remember Sundays. It happens
You
after
remember,
Saturday.
yeah, before Monday, Sundays.
Yes.
I believe 8 a.m. Gym would
Yes.
come on,
Yes.
and then after
And a
gym,
little friend and the singers, and yeah.
You watch Jim?
I'm not going to admit that,
Listen,
but maybe.
Truly outrageous.
I watched Gym.
Truly outrageous.
Gym was good. I
I
watched
do remember
Gym.
that.
There was Gym, and then what would come on after Gym? Was it
Oh, God.
I think it was.
Well, I remember for a short time
They
they
call
were
it G.I.
sticking
Joe.
a mask in there before G.I. Joe. If you
Mobile
remember,
Armored Strike Command?
something like that.
What,
Mask.
K? I hate it when they do that.
Well, it has to spell mask.
No,
Yeah,
they
it was
were,
not. It was not a lot of line of toys based on the Cher and Eric Stoltz movie. It was definitely Mobile Armored Strike Command.
Yeah.
But Mask, I remember they were trying to squeeze that in between Jem and G.I. Joe,
Right.
and it just didn't take off.
I'm going to say something because this is just
Mask
remind-
was fake G.I. Joe. It
Yeah.
was-
Agreed.
Yes.
when I bought the mask characters, because again, it was all toy stuff, so they were really selling the cars, like they were selling the vehicles. That's what they really wanted to push.
Right.
So the drivers of the vehicles had to fit, and they were
And they
only
were
like-
small.
They were small.
Yeah.
I
They were only
remember
this
I
big.
had one Mask toy.
And it's funny because when we were playing with our GI Joes, they were bigger, so we would always the mask toys will always be like their
Their
kids.
kids.
Yeah.
Well, G.I. Joe and the Zentradi and them.
Yeah, exactly. They were huge compared to it, but they had the better vehicles. But none of my other toys. I like interactive toys because I had my Robotech toys were the same size as my GI Joe toys. They were slightly smaller and they were a little more loose in the hips,
Oh, my mother.
but they all wore.
Very personal.
Well,
Yeah.
because the ones I had, they all had their flight suits. So
Right.
it'd always be like that white flight suit with like the red thing, and they
Right.
had the helmet.
You know what? I can't say I hated this, but they work perfect. The Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles toys, kind of how big they were.
I love Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles.
They weren't interactive with the G.I. Joe shit.
No.
which was-
You know, my parents
But they had
would
great
never
detail.
buy me G.I. Joe for the longest time because they were too expensive. So it's like everybody would show up with their G.I. Joe toys. I got my Kenner Star Wars guys.
Yeah.
No, see, Star Wars and G.I. Joe were 3 3/4, so they were in scale with
They
each
were
other.
within
They were in scale, but they didn't have
that
kung
swivel
fu grip.
Oh, no, they couldn't bend. They didn't have the elbow and knee joints.
And the lightsabers were so bizarre looking.
Yeah.
You remember they had the
I could just
big
slide it out of my
lightsaber?
arm, man.
But we had them
Yeah.
because we loved them.
I had Yoda.
They stayed in place better than the ones that you stick in the hand. You know,
That's true.
at least they didn't fall apart when we were going.
Who holds things like this? You know what I mean?
And when you kept putting like the weapons in their hands and the thumb would break off,
Yeah.
then it's a wrap.
It's a wrap.
Then you got characters like this. They can't hold any weapons.
Mom,
They're
where's
gonna
the
karate
Scotch
chop
tape?
everyone up though. You know,
Super glue.
as they all switched to martial arts characters at that point. It was good.
Those guys always looked at me like I was so lame. Oh, Star Wars again? You're Darth Vader? Playing G.I. Joe.
G.I. Joe. Darth Vader could be in the G.I. Joe universe. No, he can't, JB.
Darth Vader would wreck Cobra Commander.
We would just say we're playing with our men because we had GI Joes and Star Wars and all other things, and I carried everything in this big shoebox, throw it all
yeah.
in, and you would line it all up, and then we'd have to pick one order. Oh, first pick, second pick, and you get to pick what guy you're going to be,
And then we would have the war.
and then we'd have a war.
Well, you remember the big Darth Vader head that held the...
Yeah.
Yes,
That's
I do.
what I had. I had 2 of them. That's how many Star Wars figures I had.
You must have been rich. Because
we were rich.
We had
Star Wars. My parents confided in me. Cheapest of all the toy collections that were hot for like almost 10 years. That Kenner used to underbid all the rest.
And I know this is going way off topic. It was because
we're already there.
Yep.
Star Wars toys were only going off of the Star Wars movies, where G.I. Joe was going off of the cartoon. So when they would always have and comic books, so they can always have new toys and new creations, so they can keep going. And all Star Wars can do was give Princess Leia a new outfit. Or, you didn't have a new character.
What was funny is they'd find that one character who was only on like 3 frames of the film, some random alien, and that's Snugglemot, and he would release it.
It's the guy holding the ice cream maker ran across Cloud City.
He's a figure now. They actually made that after a while. Yeah.
I like the charred remains of Baru and Owen. That's my favorite.
that still does the Photoshop fun, but they should do that. Since they released the invisible plane with the empty package, they should be able to do that.
That was my
or Avengers toys, where it's just a packet of ash for half the heroes.
Well, I guess we've completely derailed with that.
So, Frank, do you have anything going out?
I do not.
Angela, you have anything going out?
Not today.
JB, you got anything going out?
Yeah, like I said, a shout out to my man AM at Comics Most Wanted.
Yes.
Like him, subscribe, follow.
Art?
Yes, for that new healthy snack, Fluffer Nutter Fluffer Butter. Go out and get some.
So for Frank G, Red, Simply Angela, and JB, I am Cool Water Card saying, always remember, if we're going to live together, we're going to have to be able to play together. The more colors, the more better. Peace and love must rule each and every time. Love knows no boundaries, and bullets have no names. See you next week.
252.
Donis, pull yourself together.